Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Cerebral Smack Talk live on YouTube.com. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Michael Fletcher, and as you guys notice on the little caption here, this is the Go Home Show for No Mercy. What's going down with I am good old MF Mike Fletcher alongside Anthony the Hitman Florio. We were looking for Dee Woodson, however, I just found out just moments ago from my partner in crime that Dee Woodson will not be here tonight, unfortunately, due to work commitments beyond her control. And of course, we are awaiting Michael Bullock. He is basically out on the town right now. We don't know if he's even going to make an appearance tonight. If he is, great. If he is unable to, then you guys will possibly hear him Thursday night for College Football Thursday. But until then, apparently we're going to be running a two-man weave. And first off, folks, we're going to be more entertaining than that boring, lame-ass vice presidential debate that just went down a short time ago. Proud Americans, if any of you guys were had to sit through that and was boring and nauseated like I was, I apologize, guys. We're going to bring the fire. We're going to bring some passion. We're going to bring some excitement here for tonight. There's a lot to talk about. We got SmackDown Live, their Go Home show, like I said. Then I also got a lot from Ring of Honor. You know, there was a Ring of Honor taping this past Saturday, normally on your local affiliates. We got that. I also got stuff from All Star Extravaganza that went down in Lowell, Massachusetts, and then I also got I got Lucha Underground stuff as well. So, a lot to decipher, and you know, we're gonna start it off with, believe it or not, we actually had a match. SmackDown actually opened with a match. It was Bray Wyatt versus Kane. The winner of the bout by countout was the Monster King. And, okay, the fight turned out, now this is approximately 4 minutes and 20 seconds. I'm going off of 411mania.com. Anthony will probably have a different time. You know, when we do these times of the falls, it's going to be, it definitely will differ in many different ways. However, about this fight was definitely the mind games were still being played. Randy Orton trying to get into Bray Wyatt's head. It looks like it's definitely Orton now being the hunter, and he's hunting Bray Wyatt. He's using that psychological warfare against Bray Wyatt, the Eater of Worlds, the master manipulator, the one who has been, you know, the leader of the mind games, who's been so intelligent with the mind games, is now being played by the Viper, Randy Orton. This has been very interesting, very unique, I'll say, and it's a nice little twist. Even though I know the match wasn't that great, it was more for building Orton versus Wyatt, which is gonna go down. It will happen this Sunday night at but I will say this, for the effort and for what it's worth, I could give this maybe a half to 1 star, and I know a lot of people will not argue with that at all. However, when it comes to certain points in tonight's event, I really feel like this was more, it was more storyline driven. And that's the thing. Tonight, that's what it was. Story progression. And that was the one thing that we actually praise SmackDown for having, is storyline progression. Their storylines, what they bring to the table, it goes from week to week. It's a nice ebb and flow. Even though the match kind of didn't that we were expecting, it was really more the post-fight and all the stuff that was leading throughout the night. Because again, Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt, basically this little cast game ran through the entire show this evening. It wasn't just one little part. It wasn't just one segment and that's it. No, this went through through the whole night. And again, it was well worth it. It was well designed. It was beautifully done. And it's really that thing that makes SmackDown so exciting and makes us want to stay close to our TVs each and every Tuesday night. The storyline progression is getting at a fever pitch that it makes me really excited for Sunday night in Sacramento for Randy Orton versus Bray Wyatt, where have done this 20 million different avenues, but I think the way that they've been doing it is a thing of beauty, and I gotta give credit where credit's due to the writers and the production of SmackDown Live, because these guys have been nailing it for the last few weeks. Anthony Florio, come on in, my friend. You can take over from here. Give me your thoughts about the match, and like I said, that storyline progression that I've been talking about between Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt as we're heading into No Mercy in Sacramento on Sunday night.
Absolutely. With that being said, hello, friends. Ridiculously Over Anthony Florio here with you for another edition of the Cerebral Smack Talk. Delighted to have you with us as always. And I'm going to be real honest with you. This show didn't really do much for me tonight, if I'm going to be real honest, overall, but I'll get into that later. I mean, yeah, there were some standout moments, but, last week, we had that unbelievable show in Cleveland a week ago, but San Diego, I'm afraid the 619, it wasn't as good as last week, even though, like I said, there were some moments. The most entertaining thing on television right now at this hour, if I'm going to be real honest, the American League wildcard game with the Baltimore Orioles and the Toronto Blue Jays at the Skydome in Toronto. I mean, that thing is turning into a 5-star classic, Shakespearean drama all around. And this is just the first night of that. So Christmas has come early for this diehard baseball guy. But, story for another day. But as far as this is concerned, I'm not going to argue about the time of the falls because, I go by 2 review sources, and my other review source did not provide the time of the fall for any of the matches. So I'm just going to have to run with what MF goes on. So I'm not going to argue it. So I have 4 minutes and 20 seconds as well. Kane wins via count out. I'm actually going to give it a solid 1 star. That's what I will do. It wasn't much of a match. It was just an avenue to build to Wyatt versus Orton. And while I can appreciate Orton playing games with Wyatt, it makes no sense for Wyatt to lose here. Would it kill them to give the guy some momentum? Also, I don't care about the notion that Wyatt doesn't care about wins. He appears to be a loser, and that's not good. And, I could, if I could add a little more to that, it was not a hot opening, but it was serviceable to start off tonight's story between Wyatt and Orton. So that's really all I can say about that. Kane took a nasty bump on the lip there. So, but other than that, and I will give you that. The storyline progression, we talked about that last week, when we had that great broadcast a week ago. I mean, when the theme of that show was storyline progression, and they advanced the storyline very well. I will agree with you there. But it started off slow when it comes to the build with Wyatt and Orton, but over the last couple of weeks, tonight and the week before, much better. And I think, and I do believe that once we get to the match on Sunday night, that it will deliver. I'm praying it delivers. And if I'm going to be real honest, Bray Wyatt needs the win way, way, way more than Randy Orton does. At this point, a loss will not hurt Orton whatsoever. I mean, he's proven everything that there is to prove. Bray Wyatt still need to figure out something with him. I mean, if anybody needs a win in this feud, he needs to win it more, because ever since that program with John Cena, at WrestleMania 30, I mean, what has he done for us lately? I haven't seen much of anything. He's the one, I mean, out of all the talents in WWE right now, nobody has been more underutilized and more undervalued and underappreciated than Bray Wyatt. I mean, I could also say Cesaro too on Raw, but Bray Wyatt right now, they really need to do something with him, and they really need to, make him a legitimate star. And I thought him on SmackDown Live was going to help that, but I'm afraid he's getting lost in the shuffle. And what a damn shame, because he is such a phenomenal talent, and he deserves way better, just like Cesaro does on Raw. So hopefully Sunday night they'll right that wrong, but there is that part of me that thinks Orton's going to go over. I don't know why, but we'll see. But 1 star, that's all I can give it. But the storyline progression, I agree. I'll give you that. So really nothing left to say except let's just move on, MF.
All right, and the next thing we had, it was supposed to be Alexa Bliss going one-on-one with Nikki Bella. Well, we got almost to about 2 minutes in the bout, and then all hell broke loose. Basically, Carmella showed up. She jumps Nikki Bella. It turned into a 2-on-1 beatdown, which promptly brought the WWE SmackDown Women's Champion Becky Lynch, the last kicker, to come out. So what do? Daniel Bryan during the commercial break comes out and announces, you know what? We're going to do this. We're going to have Carmella and Alexa Bliss take on Becky Lynch and Nikki Bella in a tag team match. Very Teddy Long, Daniel Bryan, and it was on SmackDown too. Yeah, I think we know where this was heading. So later on, right then and there, we restart the fight match, and the winner of the bout at 4 minutes and 4 seconds was Carmella and Alexa Bliss. They basically Alexa Bliss gets the Twisted Bliss, picks up the victory for her team. Anthony Florio, you lead off.
By default, keywords, by default, I actually thought this was the fight of the night, by default, because none of the matches on this show really stood out to me. But out of all the matches, this is the one that sort of stood out to me. 4 minutes and 4 seconds. I'm going to give it between 2 to 2.25 stars. Solid little tag match, giving Bliss the win to give her credibility heading into the pay-per-view, and also continuing the feud between Carmella and Nikki Bella. So, yeah, and I also don't mind the champion taking a pin here, but there are some that are saying it didn't really feel like a major moment for Bliss as much as it was another one of those times Lynch walked into a trap. I hope they find a way for her to remain a babyface without being a total moron, because as a storyline crutch, it's pretty much out of gas. But all I can say right now is big win for Alexa Bliss, and since Alexa Bliss went over, I think we know where this is heading. The dreaded Booking 101. And Booking 101, since Alexa Bliss got the better of Becky Lynch tonight, it's very likely Becky Lynch will successfully defend the SmackDown Women's Championship at No Mercy on Sunday night. And that's exactly what I think is going to happen. I think Becky Lynch will successfully defend the SmackDown Women's Championship against Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss will give her fits, but I just think the last kicker is going to be a little bit too much for my fellow August 9th baby. So there's nothing left for me to say on that. So by default, the fight of the night, although it wasn't anything remotely special, it was a solid little tag match. Like I said, hey, they gave Alexa Bliss the win. They gave her credibility and momentum heading into the pay-per-view. That's always a good thing, but Booking 101 is going to rear its ugly head on Sunday night, I'm afraid. So for all you Alexa Bliss fans out there, including myself, we're going to have to wait a little longer for our girl to get that special moment. So it's not coming on Sunday night. Becky's going over. So default fight of the night, 2 to 2.25 stars. So MF, your thoughts on all this?
I'll give it 2 stars. I agree with you with everything that you said. This was a good fight. I definitely enjoyed it. I kind of understood why they did Alexa versus Nikki. That sounded like something really good. I know they were hyping it a lot during the SmackDown pre-show on WWE Network, and they were trying to make it looking like, Alexa really needs a big win here to get some momentum, this and that, and why not do it against one of the queen bees of the women's division on SmackDown, the multi-time champion Nikki Bella, and they kind of really played that underdog type role. But then, with Carmella to show up to get the leg up on her, that's another booking 101. I think Nikki's going to go over Carmella on Sunday night, but we'll get into that on another night. But overall, in this situation, I really like how this was playing out. The storyline progression is great. Both women, Carmella and Alexa Bliss, can definitely say, "Hey, we got wins. We got some momentum that we can carry to Sunday night." Nikki and Becky, they're definitely gonna have to lick their wounds here, but it's a quick turnaround because now they're on that collision course on Sunday night in Sacramento. What are we gonna see? We'll wait and see. But whatever the case may be, I think it's going to be a lot better than what we saw, and we'll see from there. All right. So with that said, let's move on to the next part of the show, which was actually a really cool moment. Daniel Bryan in the ring with 5 survivors, or 5 people, 5 ladies that basically was the pontification of being a warrior, being a champion. As many of you guys know, this month is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and basically pink is the color of the month, as so many people are going to be showing the love this upcoming month. As many of you know, this last week, actually this past Sunday, was the Breast Cancer Awareness Walk, and basically everything that was going down in downtown city Providence. They had a big event down in right near where the state house is, right where the Providence Place Mall is. If you know that area down in Providence, like I do pretty well, that place was rocking without a doubt. Had over 10,000 people over there. It's a breast cancer walk or run, whatever you want to do. It's a 5K. There was what they call the Pink Pump Palooza, which is basically dudes and women in high shoes. It's like a little 100-meter dash. It's pretty cool. And then for all you little kiddies out there, there's actually a 1K run out there as well. They made a whole lot of money. I think they did almost $500,000 in Providence alone, which is unbelievable. Great job for you guys. The Susan G. Coleman is another company. It's basically the same thing like Gloria Gemma, and basically they had 5 really cool representatives who was. That's the new campaign that they're doing this year. It's women who goes above and beyond, not just breast cancer survivors, but being influenced, being voices for breast cancer victims around the country. And with that, Daniel Bryan awarded these 5 replica SmackDown WWE SmackDown Women's Championships. This was the same thing like they did last night on Monday Night Raw with Enzo and Cass, when they presented three ladies with WWE Raw Women's Championships. This is a really cool segment, a really cool thing. If you want more information, log on to WWE.com and the Susan G. Coleman link is on the website. There's always special outfits, special armbands, clothes from the superstars in pink, and all donations, 100% of all donations goes to the Susan G. Coleman Breast Cancer Awareness. So let's shift gears to that, even though that was a real cool moment. The next thing we had was a tag team match, which was Mojo Rawley and my boy Zack Ryder against Simon Gosh, Aiden English, the Vaughn Villains. So what did they do in this fight? It was basically the Hype Bros getting the finish, getting it on the hype driver, 3 minutes and 56 seconds. I'd say okay fight. This is maybe a 1.5 to 2-star fight. Probably going more 1.5 than anything else. But this was solid. This was pretty good. There was really nothing amazing to talk about, nothing to write home about. Although Connor and Victor, the Ascension, showed up, and I guess they were scouting the Hype Bros. Maybe one more fight added to No Mercy and that card on Sunday night, possibly. Maybe this could be a pre-show fight. Who knows? But whatever the case may be, give it up for the Hype Bros. They looked all right. It was a good victory for them. Anthony Florio, I give it to you.
Second best fight of the night for me, MF. Solid. I'll actually give it the solid 2 stars. This was perfectly solid, but it had no heat to it. The Hype Brothers pick up the win and tease a future match, maybe the pay-per-view pre-show with the Ascension, with the post-match stare-down, like you just said. And let me see, what else did I have? It was a good effort, but neither of these teams has much momentum at the moment. There's a pretty sharp drop-off in the tag team quality on SmackDown after you get past the top 3 teams. Those top 3, of course, being Slater and Rhino, the current champions, the Usos, and American Alpha. But hopefully they can resurrect some of these acts. The Vaudevillains were in the ring as the Hype Brothers made their entrance. So, yeah, I mean, Vaudevillains have gone down quite a bit. You know, once upon a time, they were NXT Tag Team Champions, and their stock has really fallen. So, but that's all I can say. So, solid 2 stars, and I can definitely see a pre-show match with the Hype Brothers against the Ascension. Don't think it'll be anything special, but we'll see. You never know. So, solid 2 stars, default second best fight of the night. So, all right, MF. Now it's on to what was the best part of last week's show. We'll see if we think so again this week. Another segment with The Miz and Dolph Ziggler, a Dolphumentary.
Yeah, documentary it was. MizTV that had Dolph Ziggler and the Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion, The Miz. And Anthony, it's all yours, my friend. Go ahead. It's all yours. Florio? Oh, okay. Go ahead, Florio. You lead off.
Yep, I'm right here. Got a little sidetracked here because we got some Shakespearean drama with that Oriole Blue Jay game. It's in the bottom of the 9th, and the Blue Jays have 2 men on. So Toronto could be in position to win that thing. So we'll try to keep an eye on that. But as far as this segment goes, I don't know what else there is to say here except last week it was the segment of the night and the SmackDown Live segment of the year. This time around, I got to say it was the second best segment of the night. I thought there was one segment better, but I will say it like this. This was a great balance of Ziggler's seriousness and Miz's over-the-top D-baggery with the video package and digging up Kenny and Mikey from the Spirit Squad. Oh, my goodness, Kenny Dykstra. And Mikey was there. And the Miz Ziggler program continues to be very intriguing, and I hope they kill it again at the pay-per-view, even though I said on the show last week, and I'll say it again, Sunday night, these 2 guys are going to steal the show. I think it's going to be a 5-star classic. I think there's going to be Shakespearean drama all around. And miffed off Ziggler is better than sad dope Ziggler. I don't know how much more you can expect from them in the ring compared to their last few matches, but the stakes have been raised for Sunday night, and the direction they go with Ziggler will be interesting to watch. Because I have come across a few dirt sheets saying that Ziggler could be done with WWE, which could be an indication that Ziggler could actually lose on Sunday night and then he'll be done. But we'll wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. If he loses, then obviously those dirt sheets were true. But if he actually wins and wins the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship, then obviously those dirt sheets were all for naught. So we'll have to wait and see on that. But for me, the second best segment of the night, there's actually one segment I actually thought was better, even though this was another great segment between these 2 guys. And great to see Kenny and Mikey. I mean, Kenny Dykstra, you remember, he was groomed for a solid run in WWE, but unfortunately nothing came across on that. And I actually did like the line where Miz said, I know there's more of you, but they actually got lost in transit because of the when they were sent back to OVW, courtesy of Triple H and Shawn Michaels of Generation X. I think that was the night after the 2006 Survivor Series on that Monday Night Raw that I know MF and I remember very well because that's when we were covering Raw back in the day. So, but other than that, second best segment of the night. One actually was better. So, some more great stuff with Miz and Ziggler, and I like Ziggler's intensity at the end. So, I don't know. We're gonna have to wait and see. But other than that, no matter who wins, no matter who comes out of this fight, MF, there's nothing left for me to say except I predict that this match on Sunday night with Ziggler and Miz, this career-threatening IC title fight, is going to steal the show. All yours, MF.
All right. I don't see how you can disagree with that. That was definitely a great segment. Definitely one of the top segments of the night. I can totally agree with what you were saying about this being, second best segment of the night, and I love the body of work of everybody involved in this event. This was a great thing. This was a great event. I just love how everybody was all hyped up about the whole 9 yards, and bring in 2 members of the Spirit Squad because they're trying to probably incorporate this, saying that if they lose this would be the end. There's really nothing more to say about it. And I love Ziggler's passion, saying, this is my life, this is wrestling, this is who I am, this is what I'm about. And left, if I lose this, my career is done. And he was really, 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 laying it on thick, showing the world, hey, this is it. There is nothing more to say about it. If I don't deliver my, this is my passion, this is my fire, but I'm gonna fight and I'm gonna fight and I'm gonna scrap and I'm gonna do everything in my power to walk out of there with the Intercontinental Championship. And I really liked it. I really liked how this played out. This was amazing. Nothing bad to say about it. So we're just gonna move on. The next thing we had was a one-on-one match. Jason Jordan versus Jey Uso. Jason Jordan gets the win at 1 minute and 16 seconds. This basically was this is a throwaway fight for me. NA basically a nice little victory. They get the roll. It was a sit-down roll-up, getting the 1, 2, 3. Really nothing more to say. Then the Usos basically flip out, trying to take out Jason Jordan, trying to do the same thing like he did, like what they did to Chad Gable, trying to break Jason Jordan's leg, and of all people to run out and make the save was Rhino and Heath Slater. Yes, the Mongoose and the Gore showed up, and they basically the WWE SmackDown Tag Team Champions come in to make the save, saving Jason Jordan from what could have been a serious knee injury. Nothing more to say. Anthony Florio, I give it to you. For me, this is a no rating.
No rating as well. I agree with you there. Well, there wasn't much to it match-wise. It was solid enough in continuing the Usos' heat on Alpha, which will be a tag team title feud soon enough, which I've been saying on this show quite a few times. The thing they have done is built that feud well, while also setting the Usos up as the big heel threat to the champions, so that we have somewhere natural to go to next. And the Usos have really shined since turning heel. More great work from them here. So I'm actually not gonna call this the worst fight of the night. There's another match that we're about to get into that I'm about to really go off on. So MF, set that up, and you're gonna get a rare Tony reign on this one.
And I think I know where it's coming from. All right, it was Jack Swagger versus Baron Corbin, a one-on-one match, and the winner of the bout by submission at 8 minutes and 21 seconds. It was the All-American Jack Swagger. But before Anthony goes off and starts flipping out, I know why he's crying foul. This is going to be another Jesse the Body Ventura moment. I feel it. What happened was Jack Swagger put the Patriot lock or the ankle lock on Baron Corbin. Corbin reaching for the ropes, and the referee inexplicably rings the bell and is claiming that Corbin tapped out, even though even though we saw a number of replays that it was definitely looking like it definitely was looking like Corbin was trying to reach for the ropes, that he actually was not tapping out. The referee called for the bell, called the tap out victory for Jack Swagger. And knowing this, if me and Anthony were doing actual commentary for this on the rant, so go ahead, Florio. The cage door is open. Go ahead and unleash.
This, to me, was an absolute dud. This was the worst fight of the night, far and away. That was craptacular. They worked a match that did absolutely nothing to get me interested, and then ran a BS finish that made no one look good. Now, answer me this. Is Jack Swagger really a true blue babyface? If so, he shouldn't be happy with the win. Is he a desperate man at the end of his rope that he will take a win by any means necessary? Hard to tell, as as commentary was largely white noise and not adding much to this at all. On a side note, it's nearly impossible to give the new Swagger a chance when WWE has him wearing the same gear, coming out to the same music, and delivering the same catchphrase, although it's a catchy one. This draft could have been a chance for a fresh start, a repackaging of some sort. Instead, they just moved a piece from one side of the board to the other. Sure, this leads to another match, maybe at No Mercy, and that is all well and good, but this came off poorly and was not entertaining on any level whatsoever. I was bored. No, let me rephrase that. I was so bored, I actually took a cat nap during this fight. That's how boring it was. Some would say it was an okay match, but honestly, it was hampered by the fact that they tried to get too cute with the finish. Corbin flailed for the rope so unnaturally that both he and the ref looked like absolute dopes. Hell, I'll go further. They looked like stupid idiots, in the words of Chris Jericho, for the outcome of the match. I'd be surprised if a rematch is not added to the No Mercy card at some point. So, absolutely horrible. This was crap. This was craptacular at its finest right here. So, quite honestly, the vice presidential debate was far and away more entertaining than this choke job of a fight. That's all I can say on that. So there's nothing left for me to say except in some immortal words of mine: get the hook, get the hook, get the net. This was awful, straight up awful, terrible. Period. End of quotation. End of statement. Both guys deserve better, especially Baron Corbin. So I don't know what else there is to say. Simply awful. Try to follow that, MF, if you can.
I mean, what is there to say? I could give this maybe a half a star, and I'm being really generous with that. This was bad. I mean, I don't know what you can even make of it. That ending was brutal to watch. Definitely not going to be anything amazing. Those things where it was just like, what the hell? And the whole 9 yards. But, I mean, all right, I get it. They tried their best. I don't know how that would have played out, but it did. And now, all right, let's move on to the main event of the evening, which was, yes, our face-to-face John Cena, AJ Styles, Dean Ambrose. I'm going to say, guys, segment of the night. This was an absolute great way to close the show. I love the heat on everybody that was I saw the fire, the passion, everything between Dean Ambrose, John Cena, and AJ Styles. They all did a great job. Then the chaos ensued. Basically, John Cena hits, the attitude adjustment on Dean Ambrose, getting him outside of the ring. Then basically he was posing with the world title. Then AJ Styles returns the favor with the phenomenal forearm. Well, I call it the phenomenal foreskin, but he basically hits AJ Styles. Actually, AJ Styles hit John Cena with that and posing. Then the next thing you know, Dean Ambrose basically grabs, basically outside of the ring. Dean Ambrose goes absolutely ballistic, throws AJ Styles off basically wall, and then drops him with one of the most sickest dirty deeds on the metal part of the ramp that low, because you get the regular board, which is, the regular ramp way, and then there's like a metal part right at the bottom of that ramp, and he drove him head first into the metal part of the rampway, and the way he went, the way he crashed, I was like, oh my God, I hope he did not get a concussion over that, because that was oh my word. But without a doubt, great way to close the show. Definitely one of my top moments of the night, and another reason to get me excited for the Triple Threat Championship fight on Sunday night. Anthony Floyo, it's yours.
100% agree. After that awful display by Corbin and Swagger, this definitely made up for it. That was a hot closing segment, easily the best on the show, which shouldn't be surprising with all the star power. Ambrose was on fire here with his promo, and I stand by my thought that he should turn heel here shortly. He's got a cocky swagger about him that would make him a very fun guy to watch if he's cut loose. Styles more than held his own with his part of the promo, and I think Cena did well by just wearing some good facial expressions while these two were trashing his character. I fully expect Styles to retain on Sunday, but they have done a nice job making it seem plausible that this could go in any direction. Overall, like I said, very good closing segment to set the stage for Sunday's main event. All three did well, although Ambrose does need to slow his delivery just a bit, because he'll mostly get to the point to where you can't hear everything he's saying, but the promos were good by all. The post-match was all well done, as each one got a chance to shine. Now all they have to do is deliver on Sunday. At the very start of it, I had this as the fight in the night, but I still think Miz and Ziggler is going to steal the show. So there's really nothing. Save the show? Yeah, I would say yes to that, MF. Just like we had with Monday Night Raw last night. That thing was on its way to being a terrible show. And then you had all the fun with the New Day and Jericho. And then, of course, that main event with Charlotte and Sasha Banks, which I had the balls to predict they would actually do it. And go figure, they did it. So, yeah. So, you're going to be very surprised at what I have to say in my overall review in just a little bit. So, I've attached the updated No Mercy card so MF can relay it to you all, since it's his show. So there you go. So more additions could be made, but we'll see what happens. But from what I'm seeing, I think it's going to be another great SmackDown Live pay-per-view. I mean, Backlash was amazing. Just as good, if not better, from that beautiful new Golden One Center in Sacramento. Raw review time, MF. And I believe I started off, correct?
Yes, you do. It's all yours, Florio. You lead off.
6 out of 10. That's what I'm going to give this show. And for the first time in a long time, I actually thought Monday Night Raw was actually better than SmackDown Live. I can't believe I'm saying that, but it's true. I already got into the strengths of last night's Raw if you didn't see our Ridiculously Raw show. But it's a 6 out of 10 for me. I'd have to say for the first time since the first SmackDown Live that this SmackDown Live was not all that overly good. But tonight's SmackDown was a solid but lacking go-home show overall for No Mercy. The closing segment, as well as the documentary, were the highlights this week and really saved the show from being a bad one overall. While a lot of the other stuff had varying degrees of purpose, and I appreciate that, it felt more hectic and thrown together than the previous weeks, which felt way more focused. Not a bad show this week, but easily a few steps down from the last two episodes, especially last week's awesome show in Cleveland. So that's really all I think that's really all I can say about that. I don't think there's anything else for me to add to it. So East. So 6 out of 10, average show tonight. So hopefully they'll get it back going next week. But I got faith that Sunday night at No Mercy in Sacramento, that beautiful Golden One Center, I got a feeling that's going to be a damn good show. So, all right, MF, your overall thoughts, and maybe you could set the updated No Mercy card. You can relay it while I attached it.
All right, no problem. I agree with you. I'm going to give this about a 6 out of 10. This was an okay show. I mean, it was solid, but it definitely wasn't like the last go home show what they did for Backlash. This one was actually a lot as that one was. Basically, like you said, overall, it wasn't the best show, and it definitely was, because if you really think about it, it was more storyline progression more than anything else. But there wasn't really that much excitement. It kind of felt like they really packed up the tent this time around. Basically, they were like, you know what? We've done everything that we could do. We're just going to rest on our laurels here, and we're just going to leave it as is. As of now, this is the card for No Mercy on Sunday night. Just confirmed and just announced. This was a few minutes ago. Confirmed by WWE.com. Nikki Bella will go one-on-one with Carmella. That was just added to the card. These are all matches that were previously announced. Randy Orton to go one-on-one with Bray Wyatt. WWE SmackDown Tag Team Championship. It is the champions, Heath Slater and Rhino, to put the titles on the line against Jimmy and Jay, the Usos. Then we also have, for the WWE SmackDown Women's Championship, the champion Becky Lynch to go one-on-one with Alexa Bliss. In the next fight of the night, career versus title. The Miz puts the Intercontinental Championship on the line against Dolph Ziggler. If Dolph Ziggler does not win this match, is either pinned or submitted, his career is over. And in the main event of this show on No Mercy, for the WWE World Title, the champion AJ Styles puts his belt on the line against John Cena and Dean Ambrose in a triple threat match for the gold. That goes down this Sunday night from Sacramento, California, exclusively on the WWE Network, and I believe it will also be on pay-per-view. All right, so with that said, we're going to move on with our show here tonight, and it is time for us to get into, well, we're going to do Ring of Honor first. We got a lot of Ring of Honor stuff here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, as this was their week, as you know, this past weekend was All-Star Extravaganza, as it was held this year from Lowell, Massachusetts, and we are going to break it down. But first, what they had was the Field of Honor show, which, again, they had highlights from the Field of Honor, which was from Brooklyn, New York, as a matter of fact. And the matches that they had was Bobby Fish going up against Evil, and Bobby Fish won that match. Donovan Dijak versus Michael Elgin, and Donovan Dijak won that. And in the main event for the evening, they had the Bullet Club versus the Motor City Machine Guns, Leo Rush, and ACH in an 8-man tag team match. The winners of the match was the Bullet Club. Now, to get into the All-Star Extravaganza, which was held at the Lowell Memorial Auditorium in Lowell, Massachusetts. Here is the official fight card. First fight of the night, it was a rematch. It was Donovan Dijak with Prince Nana against Bobby Fish for the Ring of Honor World Television Championship. The winner of the match and still champion is was Bobby Fish. This was a good fight. This was a solid match. This was about a I want to say about 2.5 to 3-star fight. The next fight of the night was a 4-corner survival tag team match. The winner of this bout would be declared the #1 contender and the next in line for the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championship. The teams that were comprised of was the team of Dalton Castle and Cole Cabana, the All Night Express, which is Reg Titus and Kenny King. They were part of the Cabinet with Caprice Coleman in their corner, Keith Lee and Shane Taylor, and Hanson and Raymond Rowe, the War Machine, the winners of the bout, and the #1 contenders, Cole Cabana and Dalton Castle. They win it. They're going to get the shot. This was a 2-star fight, no doubt about it. I really like this match. This was a good, solid fight. Then you had 2 guys from New Japan Pro Wrestling. You had Komashita, which you kind of wondering who Komashita is. That's Hiroshi Tanahashi, folks. That is the big name. That is the ace, the star of New Japan Pro Wrestling. He is the way of the future, is what they call him. He is virtually the John Cena of Japan, and he went up against Dragon Lee, a very young upstart from MCLL, which is the Central Mexican Lucha Libre company. This was an icon versus this is a rising star versus the icon. New Japan Pro Wrestling's biggest name against MCLL's future rising star. Who won in this one? Dragon Lee knocks off Hiroshi Tanahashi at 16 minutes and 6 seconds. This would be the equivalent of one of the upstarts. This would be like TJ Perkins knocking off The Undertaker. That's how big this victory was. This is how big that fight was. So it was a great moment for him. Dragon Lee, great performance by him. 3-star fight. Nothing more to say about that. Let's just go on to the next fight, which was a 1-on-1 match. It was Kyle O'Reilly versus Hangman Page of the Bullet Club. Kyle O'Reilly wins the match at 9 minutes and 51 seconds. Good, solid fight. Nothing bad to say. So we're just going to move on to this. And this one was an interesting fight because we had Kushida, ACH, and Jay White versus Jay Briscoe, Mark Briscoe, the Briscoe brothers, and Yuri Yano. This was the first match of a tournament to determine the next and first ever Ring of Honor 6-man tag team champions. That's right. There's going to be a 6-man tag team tournament going on, and basically it's created in New Japan Pro Wrestling, and basically they're bringing it to the United States to do a tournament like this. Kushida, ACH, and Jay White wins the match. Nothing more to say. This was a good, solid 2.5-star fight. I really liked it. This was solid for what it was worth. Really enjoyed this one. This is probably going to be, I might say, like my 4th best fight of the night, where I thought Dragon Lee and Hiroshi Tanahashi was my 2nd best fight of the night. Then we had Jay Lethal against Toshiro Naito with Evil in his corner. The winner of the bout was Jay Lethal. I'm sorry, 5th best fight of the night. This was definitely good, but I was expecting a little more out of the action. It was good, solid for what it was worth. Let's just move on to the next fight, which was the Ring of Honor on the line. The champion is Adam Cole. He went up against New Japan Pro Wrestling's own, the IWGP Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion, Unbreakable Michael Elgin, the winner of the bout, and still Ring of Honor World Champion Adam Cole, second best fight of the night. This was amazing. This was a back and forth war. Nothing more to say. This was as truly amazing as it could have been. Now we go into the main event of the evening, which was ladder 6 for the World Tag Team Championship. It was the Addiction, Frankie Kazarian and Christopher Daniels, putting the titles on the line against Matt Jackson and Nick Jackson, the Young Bucks, and Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin, the Motor City Machine Guns, the winners of the bout, and the new Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions, the Young Bucks. This is the Ring of Honor Fight of the Year. This was a 5-star classic and beyond. And as a matter of fact, I'm even going to go one further. This is my fight of the year for 2016. There, I said it. This was, without a doubt, the greatest ladder match I've ever seen in my life. And this topped, I'm going to go one step further. This topped El Generico and Kevin Steen. That's how awesome this fight was. This topped Steen and Generico and their ladder war. This was absolutely nuts. This was amazing. This brought the fans in Lowell ate this up. It was over almost a half an hour of total chaos from the beginning to the end. It was so reminiscent of WrestleMania 17 all over again. You had tables, ladders, chairs, you had weapons. They left everything on the line and put so much of their careers on the line. And Ring of Honor is saying this. They're never doing this again. It was so barbaric, so violent, and so amazing. Good luck if anybody even thinks about trying to top Ladder War 6. And as a matter of fact, Nigel McGuinness and Todd Sinclair both went on the record and said, we're never doing this again. This ladder war was so amazing that they don't think nobody is going to step into another ladder war. But then again, in Ring of Honor, we heard that the last time when they said when Kevin Steen and El Generico did it. And they probably have said that in a number of different ladder wars. And let me go one further with this. Because I'm going to go one further level. Because I need to bring this up because I think it needs to be said. Ladder War was September 15, 2007, when Kevin Steen and El Generico fought the Briscoes in a ladder war for the tag team titles. This was the fourth ladder war that participated in a tag team title fight. The second one was the second ladder war was Kevin Steen and El Generico versus, now Anthony, you might know these two names, Eddie Edwards, Davey Richards, the American Wolves. They fought in a ladder war at Glory by Honor 8, which was on September 26, 2009 in New York City at the Hammerstein Ballroom. The third ladder war was the All Night Express versus the Briscoes. This was basically Death Before Dishonor, and that was also September 17th, 2011 in New York City. The fourth one is, to many people, well, going into that one, other than what I just mentioned, they talked about this ladder war being the greatest of all time. And that was Final Battle in 2012, December 16, 2012, in New York, Kevin Steen and El Generico. And that was for the Ring of Honor World title. The fifth ladder war was Adam Cole versus Jay Briscoe for the undisputed Ring of Honor World Championship at Super Card of Honor 8, which was the weekend of WrestleMania 30. This was on WrestleMania 30 weekend. And this is the sixth ladder war that they had. And I'm telling you right now, I'm going to do another one. I would be stunned. I would be shocked if another ladder war happens, because based off what I heard from my friends, they were saying, because there was a couple of people that actually went to this show and actually saw this live, and they were basically telling me, Michael, great matches in my day. I've never, ever seen anything more epic than I saw in Ladder War 6. This will go down as the greatest ladder match in professional wrestling history. Forget it. In this one person's mind, and I'm not going to put his name out there, he said it was better than Shawn and Razor from WrestleMania 10. He said it was better than any ladder match that WWE has done, that TNA has done, including King of the Mountain fights. He is calling this the greatest ladder match in professional wrestling history. Now, I have not gotten to see the tape yet, and apparently it is so violent and so chaotic that this fight might not ever see on television. You might have to be forced to go to ROHWrestling.com, and you're probably going to have to get it via the on-demand. Basically, you might have to pay $15 to see this event, but let me tell you, folks, from what I'm hearing, it is worth any. Nothing more to say. Let's move on to Lucha Underground. Like, if I couldn't top you with the greatness of Ring of Honor, now I gotta hit you with Lucha Underground. All right. So, the first fight we had was Cerebral de la Muerte versus Prince Puma. The winner of the bout was Prince Puma. This was a solid fight. Nothing more to say about this one. This was good for what it was worth. Then we had a second fight of the night, which was Cortez Castro versus Pentagon Dark. The winner of the bout was Pentagon Dark. Then we had a 8-person tag team fight, the third fight of the night, which was the Underground Crew. Now, this was the Worldwide Underground. You all know who that is. That's PJ Black. That's Jack Evans. That is Talia Vicarin. And that is Johnny Mundo. And they went up against Aerostar, Dragonfly Aerostar. You just messed me up, Florio. I'm sorry. Basically, it was Aerostar, Dragonfly, Phoenix, and the Gift of God's champion herself, Sexy Star. The Worldwide Underground wins the match, as basically it was a big victory. However, Unfortunately, Talia Vicarin did suffer an ankle injury after the match was over. She landed on her ankle and her leg in a very awkward position, injured that leg. We don't know the full extent of the injury. Hopefully, she will be okay. On the next show tomorrow night. And then in the main event, it was Dragon Azteca Jr. versus Chavo Guerrero with special guest referee Rey Mysterio Jr. Dragon Azteca Jr. wins the bout in the main event. This was my fight of the night. We actually had two fights of the night. Both the 8-person tag and this main event were both 4 stars in my eyes. Dragon, the Pentagon Jr. and Cortez Castro was about 2 stars, and the Celestial de la Muerte versus Prince Puma, I'm going to give about 3 stars. My overall rating for the show was 8 to 8.5 for Lucha Underground. This was a good show, solid as always, nothing bad to say, and that is it. So basically, that's our ending for the evening. I do have a brief little update for you guys. So for all you baseball fans out there, Anthony just posted to us the Toronto Blue Jays are your wild card representatives for the American League. They will play the Texas Rangers in the ALDS. It was Juan Encarnacion with a walk-off 3-run home run in the 11th inning to send the Blue Jays into the true postseason. Congratulations to the Toronto Blue Jays and to my boy Johnny Superb Man and his crew up in Canada. They're probably going absolutely ballistic right now in Toronto. So congratulations to the Blue Jays. Big win for them. And what do you know? A walk-off home run. The first time they've done a walk-off home run in the postseason since Joe Carter winning the World Series Game 6 in 1993. Out that. So, with that said, that's going to put a bow on this evening. As always, I want to thank Anthony Florio for a great job as always, kid. And of course, in spirit, to Derek Ferreira, Michael Bullock, and to Dee Dee Whitson. I love you guys. Thank you so much. On Thursday night is another edition of the of College Football Thursdays. Right now, we're good for that. Basically, Anthony Floyd's got a big slate of college football action, plus our power rankings, or our power poll, I should say. Friday night, NFL. Friday, we're gonna recap the Thursday night game, give you the remaining schedule on week number 5 of the National Football League. And then, of course, Saturday is, Saturday's up in the air right now. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be here, and it's not because of work commitments. I'm going to a wedding. That's right. One of my buddies from the 2184 crew is going to tie the knot on Saturday night. So I'm going to be hanging with the 2184 crew, celebrating my friend's wedding. And right now, here, I'm going to have to talk to Anthony Florio. Maybe he might have to be the host this time around for the preview show. However, we are going to do a recap, even though it looks like the weather might not be on our side and might not cooperate. We will definitely monitor the situation for Sunday night. Right now, it sounds like we are in a 50-50 hold on that one. However, if there is a video, it'll be right here on Bracefair 95 on Sunday night. I hope the weather does cooperate and we can get that in. Basically, it's all up to the producers and mainly Derek Ferreira. However, he did say it is a 50-50. We don't know just yet where that's going to play out. Of course, Cerebral, the Ridiculously Raw on Monday night, which is hosted by Anthony Florio after Monday Night Raw goes off the air, and then come right back here next Tuesday night for another edition of the Cerebral Smack Talk on YouTube.com, 10:30 Eastern, and that is it. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching this. Leave a like on this video. Drop a comment. What was your feelings about the entire show altogether? On top of that, share it with all your friends on all the social media platforms out there. And thank you so much for watching this. For Anthony Floyo, I am good old MF Mike Fletcher. Have a good night, everybody. We will see you on Thursday for College Football Thursday. And until then, so long for now. Have a good night.